What if I told you that almost everything you know about studying is a lie? Yeah, you heard me right. You probably think that to get better grades, you just need to spend more time with your books. More hours, more effort, more dried up highlighters. But what if that's the biggest myth that's stealing your time and absolutely killing your grades right now? Picture this all too familiar scene. It's the night before an exam, your desk is buried in books. In your hand is that same yellow highlighter. You're rereading a chapter for the 5th time, maybe? The words are just blurring together, right? Your notes look like a work of art, worthy of their own social media page. But your mind is a total fog. Sound familiar? Congratulations, you've fallen into a trap, the passive learning trap. You feel super busy, you're studying, but in reality, your brain is in movie theater mode. It's watching, but it's not participating. And you know what the scariest part is? Science says that with this approach, just rereading, highlighting, passively watching lectures, you remember only about 10% of the material. 10%! Just think about that. Out of the 5 hours you wasted studying, 4.5 hours just vanished into thin air. You traded a night out with friends, a few episodes of your favorite show, or just some healthy sleep for what? A lousy C? Or if you're lucky, a B? That's a daylight robbery. But what if there's another way? What if I told you that the best students aren't the ones who study the most, but the ones who study smarter? They have a secret that turns agonizing cramming into a fun game. A secret that lets them get top grades while spending half the time studying. This secret is called active learning. No, it's not magic, and it's not some innate talent. It's pure strategy, and it's ridiculously simple. Instead of just pouring tons of information into your head, you start playing with it, pulling it out of your memory, applying it, explaining it, even arguing with it. Look, here's how. Instead of rereading a chapter for the 6th time, try putting the book down and just summarizing its main points from memory. Yeah, right now. You'll miss something, you'll stumble, and that's perfect. It's in that exact moment when you feel like you are failing that your brain gets a powerful signal. Whoa, this is important. I need to remember this urgently. That's called self-testing. It's your personal sparring match with the textbook. Or how about the technique of the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman? Try to explain the most complex concept from your course to your grandma or your cat. It doesn't matter. The key is to use the simplest possible words and analogies. If you get stuck and start mumbling, bingo, you've just found a huge gap in your knowledge. Now you go back to the material not to cram, but to find an answer. You're not just memorizing, you're truly, deeply understanding. And here's another one. Instead of just learning a physics formula, bring it to life. Make up a real problem for it. How far will a ball fly if you throw it from your balcony? When you apply knowledge, even in your imagination, you build the strongest neural bridges in your brain. It's the difference between looking at blueprints and actually building a real bridge. And finally, I'm begging you, forget about study marathons. Your brain is a sprinter, not a marathon runner. Work in short, laser-focused intervals. 25 minutes of wild concentration, 5 minutes of total relaxation. This method not only saves your energy, but also uses the magic of spaced repetition, one of the most powerful techniques for making knowledge stick for years, not just until the morning after the exam. And when you make this shift from a passive consumer of knowledge to an active creator of knowledge, a real miracle happens. Your retention rate skyrockets from a pathetic 10% to 50 or even 70%. You start spending not 5 hours on studying, but 2.5. And your grades, they inevitably start climbing, from dull C's and B's to those shiny, brilliant straight A's. So, The question isn't how many hours you're willing to sit at your desk. The question is, are you ready to change the game itself? Are you ready to stop being a passive spectator and finally become the main character of your own education? Because the difference between an average student and a straight A student isn't intelligence, it's just the right method. What's the one thing you'll try today?